Good morning and welcome to another session with OCD. Welcome to my workshop on a beautiful sunny day. So what am I up to today? Well, the long awaited release of Garage Therapy 3 sealant is out. So it's time that I took the winter protection off the Audi and replace it with Garage Therapy 3. Now the winter protection on the Audi is the prototype of this. It's not the same product, it's been tweaked, it's slightly different. This is the result of the testing that was done by Garage Therapy, people like myself, Specky and of course Paul Dolden. So this is the outcome of all of that work. So we're going to give that a try today. I've got a nice new microfiber applicator, and also recommended by Garage Therapy was their towels. So I bought 6 of these, I think. I bought 6 of those, so we'll use those in the Garage Therapy 3. Now, to take the protection off, the car has been very well protected. It's got 2 or 3 coats of the prototype on there. Plus every time I wash the car I put a detail spray, GT2 normally on it. So the car's well protected, so we've got to get that off today. But I'm only using limited products. So today I'm going to use Garage Therapy Decon shampoo. Now I'm going to put that into a multi-sprayer and do a pre-wash. I'm going to put it into the foamer and we're going to foam over the top of the pre-wash. So put the pre-wash on, let it dwell for a few minutes, then put the snow foam over the top of it, and then when that's dwelt for a while I'll then rinse that off and do a 2 bucket wash again with Garage Therapy Decon shampoo. I've also got some Car Pro Tar X. I don't think there's any tar on the car, but if there is, I've got that to get rid of it. I've then got Iron X. I don't think there's any iron on the car, but we'll go over it anyway. So we'll put some Iron X on it, and then before we put any product on, I've got some Technic panel wipe. I could use Car Pro Eraser, but I think this is about as strong as it gets. I like this. This is good stuff. I think Eraser's good stuff. I wouldn't have it if I didn't like it. But for today, I'm gonna use this. So that's the limited products that I'm going to do. So I've already put some water in my multi-sprayer. I've got 750 millilitres of warm water in the multi-sprayer. So I'm going to make quite a strong mix. So I'm going to put 60 millilitres of Decon in there. I'm then going to follow that up with 60 millilitres of Decon in my snow foam. And we'll follow that up. So like I say, there's a lot of protection on that car, so I want to get it all off. Follow that up with another 60 into a bucket of warm water that I got down there, and I've got 15 litres of water in there, so it's 60 millilitres into 15 litres. So pre-wash, snow foam, 2 bucket wash. We'll check for any tar. We go over it with Iron X. We go over it with a panel wipe. We'll put GT3 on. I'll also do the wheels off camera. You don't want to see that. It's just nothing special. The wheels just need a wash with Garage Therapy 1 shampoo, 1 wheel shampoo. I'll do that. You don't need to see that. So I'll get all the bits and pieces out. I'll wash the wheels. You go and sit down and have a cup of coffee and a bacon sarnie. I'll give you a shout when we're ready. See you in a minute. Wheels are clean, so I'm just going to go over and rinse the bodywork. I'm not going to do the roof. The roof was done the other day when I put new protection on. So I'm leaving the roof. So I'm just going to go around and rinse the car down. Okay, going over with a pre-wash now. Now, the only reason I'm giving it a pre-wash, not because it's dirty, because I don't know whether you can see, but the car's spotless. Fantastic protection all over it. Only cleaned it a week or so ago, I think about a week ago. The idea of the pre-wash is to get just give Zero some time to dwell on the car to try to remove some of that protection. So this isn't to clean the car, this is to cleanse it from the sealants that's on there. So that's why I'm giving it a pre-wash. I'll just let that dwell for a while. I'm not going to let it dwell for too long because it's a warm day and I don't want it to dry. So I'm going to let it dwell for a little bit and then I'll put a snow foam on it. One of the things when you use Zero or a product like Zero, always give it a really good rinse. You've got to get all of that off the car. So I'll give it a good rinse now, put a 2 bucket wash on it. Obviously that's got Zero in as well. Give it another really good rinse. You need to get all of that product off the car. Now for those of you that haven't used Garage Therapy Zero before, the idea of the shampoo is it really cleanses the car. If you've got a wax or a sealant on, then it just removes it. I've also done it with a ceramic wax. I've also removed ceramic wax, but I thought I'd show you. This car was really well protected. You know, I really look after it, and this is the effect of Zero on the bonnet. Pretty flat, wouldn't you agree? No water behaviour at all. So let's crack on. Okay, so I've dried the car purely because I don't want any watermarks on it. I've gone round and looked, give it a good look for any tar. Can't see any tar on it at all, didn't expect it to be. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over it with some Ironex. I'm not expecting much of a reaction, but because I want this product, this Garage Therapy 3 to last, I'm going to make sure that it's as well prepared as possible. I'm not going to get the machine polisher out today. I went over it with a machine polisher probably about 6 months ago, maybe a bit less, and it certainly doesn't need it. I'm not going to do it just for the sake of it. So I'm going to go over with some Ironex now. Okay, so car's washed and dried and Ironex all over it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Technic panel wipe. Now what I tend to do with this, the way I use it, is I spray it onto a microfiber pad and I just wipe the surface of the car over. So I load it up. I'll just do that over the whole car. So I'll get on and do that, and you go and have a cup of tea, and I'll give you a shout when I've finished. Okay, let's put the product on. So I'm just going to do half this bonnet because it's 20 degrees, so I don't want this to linger and dry out on the bonnet, so I'm just going to do half of it. So I've got a new applicator pad which I've got as damp. Over here I've got a damp microfiber, and I've got a dry one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a couple of squirts, squirt on the bonnet, go over it. Normally you give it up to a minute, but because it's warm today, I'm going to give it less than that. Go over it with the damp cloth to take any high spots off. Then again, you can leave this up to 3 or 4 minutes to flash off, but again, because the weather is such warm, the panel is warm, it's not hot, but it is warm, so I'm not going to give it very long to flash off at all. And then I'll go over it. Once I've leveled it, I'll go over it and buff it off. So let's do this. 2 of them, 1 of them. Not going to let it dry, so go over it with a damp cloth. There's no pressure on this, just taking any high spots off, barely the weight of my hand. Now again, like I said, I would normally leave it longer to flash off, but it's a warm day. Straight away you can start to feel how slick that product is. That's beautiful, really slick. So that's how I'm going to apply it. So let me do the front wing. Right, so that is that's beautiful. That slickness is just, it's just great. And what I found with the prototype is that it got slicker over the course of the next say 8 hours or so, and also brings the colour out. And I'm guessing most of you, if not all of you, follow Paul Dolden. If you don't, then you ought to. He's just used this, he's just demonstrated this in a video earlier this week, and what he said was that the next day or two, the gloss and the colour in the car that he did, I think he did a little mini Metro, Rover Metro, the colour had really come out and was, you know, it really is enhanced over a couple of days. So that's certainly what I found with this. The slickness the following day was fantastic with the prototype, so I'm guessing it's going to be the same with this. Right, so that's this wing. I'm going to do the other side of the bonnet and we'll work our way around the car, shall we? Do one more panel and then I'll crack on with the rest of the car after that. Okay, so gone over the whole car now. Well, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's so slick. It's brought the colour out fantastic. I'm really pleased with it. Really pleased with it. There we go, job done. I'm going to give it a couple of hours and go over it again in the evening to make sure it's got, so that way it'll have two coats. That's going to be its protection now for summer, and it's all very well putting the protection on, but it's good to see how it performs over the next few weeks and months. So what I'm going to do with that car, I'm just going to use Garage Therapy products for the rest of the summer. So I'm going to use Garage Therapy 1 wheel and 1 car shampoo to clean it, and Garage Therapy 2 quick detailer after every wash, just to keep it protected. And then we'll see just how long that product lasts. But I will be putting a second coat on it, as I say. So when you put this product on, it does say on the bottle, don't put it on in direct sunlight, which I've gone and done, and it works perfectly, but you've got to be a little bit careful. And what I mean by that is, I put the product on as you saw with an applicator. I then had a barely damp cloth, so when I applied the prototype in the winter, I could put the product on, leave it for a minute, take the high spots off, leave it for 3 or 4 minutes and then buff it. In this sort of weather, and as we get more into the summer, you can't do that. You've got to get it off a bit quicker. That's my experience today. 20 degrees today, So my experience was put the product on, by the time you finish going over the panels are warm but they're not hot by any means, but it is, like I say, 20 degrees. So once the product was on, give it, you know, 20-30 seconds, go over it with a barely damp cloth just to take the high spots off, and then I went over it almost straight away with a nice dry cloth and buffed it. The results are absolutely brilliant, amazing, very happy with it. But I wouldn't put this on hot panels, I'd leave it till the evening, and you're okay doing that because as long as it dries for an hour or two and then it rains in the night, it's not too much of a problem. It's better if it doesn't, but it's not too much of a problem. So there we are. Just all you got to do is just use your nozzle, be careful when you put it on. The way I did it today has worked perfectly for me, and yeah, I'm really pleased with it. We'll see how it goes over the course of the year. So from OCD, thanks for spending time with me in my workshop again today. Until next time, you guys take care. Bye bye. So it's the next morning. I gave the Audi a second coat yesterday evening, and then I thought I'd leave it overnight to dry properly, and then we go out and put some water on the bonnet today to show you the water behaviour. Water behaviour to me isn't the be all and end all to demonstrate protection, but I know a lot of people are interested in it, so I thought I'd do that. And again, as I said yesterday, after listening to Paul Dolden's video, or watching Paul Dolden's video, he said that on the Metro that he did, gloss levels were really a lot better the second and third day, and he's right, but he is right because the gloss levels are better on the Audi today. They were superb yesterday, but I'm really pleased with it. So let's go out and put some water on the bonnet, and we'll see what we think of it. So there we go, you can see the water behaviour for yourself. You can make your own mind up what you think about that. I'm very happy with it, no more than I expected really, but you know, good products, you know, it's a good brand. Everything they do, everything GT do seem to hit the spot. You know, these guys have been detailers for a long time. They know what they want out of a product, so when it comes to producing their own, you know, they do what works for them, and it works for most of us, I think. So that's why this year that car now is just going to have, like I said yesterday, just going to have garage therapy products on, and we'll see how it fares over the course of the year. But for me, that's definitely got a thumbs up. So that's it. So I'm going to shoot off and put the kettle on now. You guys take care. Cheerio.